Hello and welcome to Rogue Nation's pre-alpha playthrough. I'm Patrick. I will be your host this morning, guiding you through the areas of Rogue Nation. It is February 23rd, and I will be playing version 0.60.40. Before we kick this off, I just want to highlight that the build that we're demoing today is technically live. You can install it on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. So go download that. And yeah, really excited to demonstrate the different areas of the games and the kind of feature frameworks that we've developed and are excited to grow and scale with feature set additions in the near future. Join us in our community on Discord and Twitter. You get all the updates. And with that said, let's get started. Load, getting into the game. Here is our loading screen. We have a Lunar New Year event going on right now, obviously themed. So as we get started, this is the loading screen. Every player that installs our game lands on this screen. Very clear emphasis of the player's loadout. You will see this change dramatically here in the next couple minutes, but we want to emphasize the player's items, because they actually own these items. And one of the ways that we enable this with the easiest onboarding possible is the first area we'll jump into, the settings page. What you notice right away is that we have a player ID that we created for you, but also a Moonlit wallet. This is a non-custodial wallet. The player owns this. We create it, and we use information like player ID, device ID, and developing single sign-on to triangulate and make sure that players can keep the items that we are gifting in-game. Now, I have a different wallet I would like to add. So, one click, there we are. I have a new wallet added. And right away, I see, because we have a brand new build, that I want to go change my name to the moon. Alrighty, and you can see the NFTs that I have in my own wallet here. And I'll just scroll down a bit so you can actually see the debug menu. These are the ones that we add if you don't have any. These are actually from my wallet. We'll grab a couple. So there, set up our player profile. We've been in the game for seconds and already have hooked up our wallet and added NFTs to our player profile to show, that this is us and add a little spice to who we are in this game. Next up will be the loadout, which consists of our rogue, our pet, and our weapons. Since the main emphasis here is the rogue, let's jump into the rogue menu. And we have 3 characters with high variation through their stats and abilities. And what we want to develop here is actually pretty emergent variation in the ways in which players can interact with each one of these characters that we develop, so they have a wide array of ways in which they can play them. But for all intents and purposes right now, you can look at Ice Cold as our tank. Stash is our run and gun DPS, shooter. And Stare is more of like a berserker who is balancing their health and damage output. So she has things like lifesteal. Let's click in here. As you can see, we have a pet and weapon. But since we're already talking about our rogue, let's spice up Stash a little bit here. So there is a very large modification system with 4 different slots inside the game, all developed to be modular with every character that is in the game. So let's just throw a couple clothes items on Stash. Okay, he's getting real bright. Now each one of these is cosmetic in its design as of right now. But we do look at extremely high rarity, high valued items in the future for example, like these steps, adding a little more to the stat variation. And next up is a rogue's best friend, their pet. We have two variations in the game as of right now. The Genesis NFT that we launched last year with Magic Eden was a horny. Now settle down, it's because they have horns on their head. And our second NFT collection is Chonky. These little chubby ones here. They vary in that hornies add damage output, while chonkies are more defensive. They give you a health based shield. Now, I personally like to play with chonkies, so I will select my chonky. Again, you can see we have debug menu. This is actually my chonky that I own. I'll equip it there. And so next up is weapons. And to round out our loadout, we have weapons. Now, weapons come in 4 classes. We have shotgun, assault rifle, SMG, and sniper. Of course, we're developing more. What's a roguelike ARPG without a sword, right? On top of weapon classes, we have weapon sets. As you can see here, Battle Basics is kind of our starter weapons. But then we have Mutiny, Wastelander, and Iron Torch, and many more in development. Now, what we're doing with each one of these weapon sets is giving a different feel to the classes. Using parameters of the weapon that you see here, like damage, accuracy, fire rate, clip size, and others, we have a way in which we can create characteristic feel to each of the weapon sets. So Wastelander shotguns feel very different than Iron Torch shotguns. And another feature that is in development at the moment is procs, because, come on, we need even more variation. An example of this would be, let's say, hitting an enemy with 5 uninterrupted shots, and that stuns or freezes that target. And that would be attached to a weapon set. Now, on top of that, we have 5 rarities in the game. The 6th will be extremely special, and that will be coming very soon. I'm sure many people have heard me talk about the mythical Excalibur. Well, that would be the future rarity. Each rarity actually has a numerical scale within it to add even greater variety to the weapons that can be produced within a weapon class, a weapon set, and within its elemental damage. So what this does is really opens up the pool of weapons depending on, let's say we have a shotgun from the same set, has the same DPS or power calculation, but the variance in damage, accuracy, fire rate can actually give a very different feel even within a class and a set. So this really allows players to min-max and find weapons that really help play to their play style. On top of that, we have 5 rarities currently in the game, with a 6th being developed. I'm sure everyone watching this video has heard me talk about the mythical sword Excalibur. It takes a little more than just your linear progression, but emergent progressionary layer on top of what we already have. So that would be the 6th rarity. Each rarity actually has a numeric scale within it, 0 to 100, that adds even greater variance to how a weapon feels. So even if it has the same class and set and DPS calculation, there's different ways in which you can get there through damage, fire rate, clip size, accuracy, and other parameters within the weapon. And what this does is open up the variance to people's gameplay styles. So they can really min-max on how a weapon is used and by which characters. So we're just adding a lot more autonomy and flexibility. So that's weapons. Let's actually equip a weapon. Let's just do SMG. All right, and so that is our loadout. Our character's looking snazzy. We got our legendary weapon and our legendary pet. So now that we're looking real snazzy, all NFTs that we can see here, what are we going to do? Well, a good place to look and see what is on the docket is missions. We have daily and weekly missions. So we have 3 daily missions that you can see here. We balance these out as how much in-game time it will take. So we have 3 different difficulties. One that can be done in a gameplay or 2, one that should be able to be completed within a session, and one that is multi-session. So you get 1.5 sessions. And then with weekly missions, we give out 5 weekly missions, and there is, of course, another difficulty scale all the way from multi-session to multi-day. Each completed mission gives you rogue points that you see here. FYI, I gifted myself a couple rogue points, and you'll see why. So you complete these missions, you get rogue points. Also, you play the game and get rogue points, as you can see my battery here. But what do you do with those rogue points? Well, great question. Let's go to the shop and spend them. So here you see an array of loot boxes. We actually have a Lunar New Year box for our Lunar New Year event at the moment. We have our odds of weapons, gems, and cosmetics. So these are actual NFTs that you can use in game. Let's open up a rogue box. Come on, be something good. Don't let us down now. All right, so I have a player profile NFT that I just got from engaging with the game. I can go look up this NFT. Here's my new guy right here. Awesome. So that just kind of shows you how a rogue box works. But while we're in the shop, just kind of explain the currency situation. So we have rogue points, which are our engagement currency. Gems are our hard currency. We have loot boxes, which are full of NFTs that you can purchase with gems. You also have a chance of getting gems within the rogue box, which gives you a trickle and allows us to have NFTs in game that players can purchase here. And we have gems that are purchasable by IAP, so native to Apple App Store and Google Play Store. You can purchase these gems and start purchasing NFTs in our game that have a higher rate of dropping legendary and epic NFTs. So that is the shop. All right, so let's talk about the game itself. Now, something you might notice right away is that we are in the game mode called Survival, and we have these weird kind of indicators around these elemental looking things. That is because we have a nature element weapon, which does well against water and light, but really bad against metal. So this is showing me the indicator of those. Now, where can I see that? Here it is. We have a Pokemon style elemental chart. We have 8 elements as of now, and really kind of deepens the rock, paper, scissors, blizzard, Spock style to the game that we're going for here. Now, we have 2 game modes. One is shoot and loot. The other is survival. I'll explain shoot and loot, which is a procedurally generated dungeon crawl experience that is more or less tied to the power progression of the game. This mode currently has 10 difficulty levels, but we're always rebalancing. Each run has 6 rooms that you sequentially go through. You clear a room, it opens up to the next room with more difficult enemies. And the faster you clear, the more you score. The more you score, the better rewards you get. So really simple, self-enclosed power progressionary layer. Now, survival is something that I think most people would be familiar with, especially if you play any contemporary mobile roguelites. This is essentially, in the name, survival. You want to survive as long as possible while racking up as many points as possible. And we're running our weekly tournament through this game mode. So the fact that it is a competitive portion of our game, we do not do procedurally generated environments. That would cause too much variation in the possible scoring aspect of the game. So to make it fair, we have predefined environments that we cycle through. We're currently limiting survival at 7 minutes, but with each weekly tournament, we start to change the variation of that. Now, when you jump into the game, which we will in a second, you'll see that we spawn wave after wave of enemy, getting more and more difficult. And as you kill enemies, you fill up your XP bar, which unlocks powerful power-ups. And it's your job to start to combine these power-ups to create the best possible, most powerful character to make it to the end of the game mode. So there's a lot of variation between the type of character you bring in, the type of weapon, and the booms that you're choosing. So there are no two runs alike. So now that you know a little more about the game modes, how about we hop in and play a match of survival and a match of shoot and loot? Let's jump into survival. So right away, some things to notice is the NFT's visibility within the game. You can see my little chonky following me around. Obviously, I am styling right now. And I'm going through, killing enemies, and my power bar has filled up enough to where I can now upgrade through one of these power-ups. You might have seen our little bot friend there, simulating co-op and giving us early advantage of our bot system. But also, if you notice, he's styling himself. It was a great billboard for players to understand what cosmetics look like in the game. You can see some of the destructive terrain. We have barrels, but some of our characters... Ooh, there's the shield proccing there, so you can see the shield. But some of our characters that have powerful abilities, like Stash Hair, can actually blast through some of the more difficult terrain. Oh, jeez. I'll line it up next. But there's 3 abilities. Let me actually put on music, because hearing the shot is a little annoying over and over again. But there's 3 abilities. We generally have 2 offensive and 1 utility. So an example of utility is we have a speed boost, both to movement and reload speed. A little fun yee-haw from Stash there. As I was saying before, we have the ability to shoot through some of the more difficult terrain with some of our characters and their abilities. So this game mode takes 7 minutes. I'm going to try and survive as long as possible, score as many points as possible. And the way in which we do that, of course, is eliminating enemies, but as you can see, I just got a double kill with a 1,000-point bonus. A triple kill gives 2,000-point bonus, and multi-kill 3,000 points. So really the name of the game is stacking up as many kills as quickly as possible. And one of the metas here, of course, is dash and a shotgun, because he can really reload very quickly with one of his abilities, and he can move around very quickly. But here we are. I just wanted to demo one of my favorite weapon classes, the SMG. And I think we're going to be doing pretty good. It's very nice that I got a legendary power-up, especially the fact that it was damage. It helps with the SMG quite a bit. Now what I need is some crit damage, and we'll be cruising. Feel free to fast forward. This hopefully will take another 4 minutes.
You boys ain't
but
from
you've really
around
seen kind
here,
of
are you?
the gameplay itself. Need more multi-kills. Here we go. There we go.
You boys ain't from around here, are you?
Triple, come on. Come on! Also, one thing that our pro players in the community really stand by, and I agree, is using a gamepad. It's this game is very fun when
boys
using a
ain't from
gamepad.
around
It gives you
here,
a
are
lot of control. We are developing a PC build as we speak to help facilitate more usage of a gamepad type.
You boys ain't
I'll
from
nice myself
around
on
here,
that.
are you?
Because I need to get rid of this sniper. Yeah! Oh, shoot. No, I gotta go. Wait. Oh. Woo! Woo! Oh my gosh. Oh my god, is that, oh, shoot, I thought that was... Whew.
You boys ain't from around
Oh my
here, are
god. God. Right. We're gonna start getting into a little more bullet helly,
You boys ain't from around here, are you?
oh my god, I'm just like walking right into these bullets. God, for the shield. There we go.
You boys ain't from around here, are you?
So you can see that that sniper that I was just firing on had a shield. That's because my bullets do 30% less damage. Oh my god. Oh, jeez. I gotta have my shield up. Oh!
You
Stop
boys
getting
ain't from
shot.
around here, are you?
Get away from me. Come on, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Oh! Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Well, we still ranked up. Going from 0 points to, let's see where we're at on the podium with 243,000. You can see how many enemies you slayed, how many double, triple, and multi-kills. Did real bad on the multi-kills. And god, I must have been like 1 or 2 seconds away from getting a survival bonus, but hey, better luck next time. Let's go check ourselves out on the podium. This is all real players, our community. You can jump in, see how you fare, and yeah, that is our survival. This is our weekly tournament. If we go back to the main page, we can see we're rank 23. Whew, man. We have the top players here. We'll probably see a lot of gold cosmetics, as this is for our most hardcore players. This is the Lunar Guardian set. Awesome players, as usual, at the top of the list. All right, so that was survival. Now let's give shoot and loot a shot. Now we'll be difficulty 1, so this is quite easy. Again, as we go in, you'll notice all of your items, your little chunky following you around, and gonna absolutely just be blowing people away. I'll try and get through this as quick as possible. We have the indicator of, hey, go kill those enemies back there. No damage here. Come on. And so we've cleared room 1. We have 6 rooms with progressively more difficult enemies, although we are level 1 difficulty. So, really not that difficult. This game mode, as I said before, name of the game is get through it as fast as possible. Oh, don't hit. I'm gonna clear this without getting hit, so we get the bonus points. Oh, okay, shield got it.
You boys ain't from around here, are you?
And that's how quick we run through. You can see that we got 48 rogue points. That goes straight to our inventory. We can go check and see our stats here. Here's our point output, and here is the type of chest that we earned through that point output. Gives us a little indicator of score 8,000 more points and get a better chest. So giving that visual feedback. Now if we had done difficulty 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10, our point multiplier would be much higher, so we'd be getting much better loot, but let's check anyway. Let's see. Alright, well, an uncommon weapon. This looks like an iron torch shotgun, not bad. But yeah, that is shoot and loot. Very quick, fast-paced, and our power progressionary area, and really a place where you can earn a lot of your rogue points from your rogue battery very quickly. And let's just check. Claim all of our missions. I think we're good to go. So that is our playthrough, really diving a little deeper into the different aspects of RogueNation, the game itself, also into the gameplay. I highly recommend starting out with Fridge. He's one of the more fun characters with his abilities. Outside of that, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of this community, and we're excited for the future features that will be coming out and the new game modes that will be coming out very soon. Thanks a lot, and see you in game. Happy hunting.